One major misconception about meditation is that it involves a suppression of thoughts, or that if you're really doing it right, your mind is blank, or the thoughts just aren't happening. It's unnatural to suppress thoughts. As the heart pumps blood, the mind pumps thoughts. So they're going to arise. The question is, what is your relationship to those thoughts? The practice of meditation involves becoming more conscious of thoughts, which means recognizing that thoughts are ultimately false. They're useful, they refer to things, but they're not ultimately true. A typical practice of meditation is to sit. They call it sitting. You don't have to sit. You can stand, walk, run. It doesn't really matter. But let's just say you're sitting. That you usually get quiet, comfortable, not so comfortable that you'll fall asleep, but comfortable enough that you can sit for at least 10 minutes or so and start to become aware of your thoughts. And that's the basic practice. What will happen is the thoughts will arise and they'll have that sense of contraction I was talking about. They'll seem to be real or true. Like the thought, you're no good, or, the thought could be, I'm no good, but it could be almost as if the thought is telling me I'm no good. And who I am is somehow that which witnesses that thought and says, nah, I don't believe you. I see you, I'm aware of you, and yet I don't believe what you're saying, I don't buy it, which means I'm not attaching to it. And then the thought, it's like the thought arises and then it sort of vaporizes or disappears in a way. So thoughts rise and fall and you just allow them. That's the basic practice. And there's more about breathing and becoming really still, but that's just to give you a sense of presence or being that enhances your ability to be aware of what's arising. In addition to thoughts, you'll have sensations and feelings, emotions, and then you'll notice that you'll have thoughts about your sensations or feelings or emotions. So I'm meditating and a dog's barking in my neighbor's yard. If I had the thought, that dog shouldn't be barking, well, the recognition, a conscious recognition is just that that thought isn't true. Why? Because the dog is barking. It doesn't require analysis. It doesn't require more thinking. It's just a fundamental seeing. Similar to if someone said you have a monster under your bed, you probably wouldn't believe it. The thought just doesn't grip you anymore. So the dog shouldn't be barking. And if it does still grip you, and that gripping creates a sensation that's unpleasant, well, then you might have the thought, that sensation shouldn't be happening. I don't like that. Okay, that's more of that contraction, that judgment. A judgment being that what's happening shouldn't be happening. And I just witness it, notice, observe, allow freely. And that seems too complicated, what I just said, then just allow. Allow what you think and feel. If a sensation comes up, you can allow that. If a thought comes up, you can allow that. Let your breathing be deep and regular. Your eyes can be closed or open. Doesn't really matter. I do it closed. It's easier for me. Some people might want to gaze at a spot on the wall or on the floor or something. And if you do that 5 minutes a day even, if you do it consistently, will produce results. You'll grow in consciousness. And then as you go throughout your day, you'll tend to notice those things in the midst of regular activity. The clock should be different. That's not true. You'll start to notice. You'll catch yourself. And then, of course, there's another layer. If you catch yourself doing that, and then there's a judgment that says, I shouldn't be doing that. That's unconscious. That's bad. It's not. Okay, saying something's bad is, in a sense, saying it shouldn't be happening. Well, of course it should be happening. The sensation of badness, the sensation of unworthiness, of whatever that is, yes. And that's when it lets you go. Our tendency is to judge ourselves as bad or wrong for doing things that are innocent, really. We all know what it's like to watch the clock. It's really okay. It's just not very useful. It's not helpful. It hurts. Just like putting our hand on the burner. At some point you say, I'm not going to do that anymore. Not because putting your hand on the burner is wrong. It just hurts. You're more present when you're not doing those things.